Hello and welcome again to another episode of Jalan Jalan Cari Rumah. I'm Ikhram. You may not recognize me because I'm missing my hat and suspenders today. And here I have my co-host Guna, who in this episode I'm going to label a bloody coward.
Dude, I knew that was coming, man. I was just waiting. I thought it would be somewhere towards the mid of the episode or something, but no. He chose to start.
I have to start it. So if you want to know why and you've missed some of our previous build-up videos, Guna is supposed to be running with me in KLCC Park. We're supposed to be doing a 3-kilometer run and discussing something controversial about Kuala Lumpur. He boldly accepted my challenge on video, by the way. He said, game on, bring it on. And on the day, he has backed out.
Okay, I let him speak first, right? Now, I did not back out. It's just that it's been a very, very busy couple of weeks.
Yes, the busy card. Okay.
Yes, I'm playing the busy card because it's the truth. And we shall do that run and we shall discuss controversial topics very soon, once the magazine goes to sleep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hope you don't get busy again and again and again, bro.
Well, anyhow, since we're here right now without running and without sweating,
Yep.
I didn't bring the boxing gloves as well. I should have today, for sure.
That's something we'll do another day. So after running, me and Guna are also going to try boxing. Let's have a poll. Who do you think will win if me and Guna boxed?
Yes,
Yep.
that'll be great.
The poll is going to come out right now and answer it. Say who do you think will win. I'm interested to see what people think.
Let's see. Okay, anyhow, let's get back to the topic.
Yep.
What are we discussing today?
The topic actually is a spin-off from a commentator in our last video. By the way, thank you so much for commenting on the videos. We really like input from you guys.
That was Rakesh Kumar, I think.
Yes, yep. And so based on that, our topic for today's video is millennials and property. One of the biggest segments in the property market in terms of buyers and investors is actually millennials. Problem is, lots of millennials don't place as much value on property investment as the previous generations did. We want to discuss why and try and explore the reasons behind this in this episode.
Very nice topic. Well, I hope this doesn't take offense to anyone out there, right?
I'm a millennial, so don't worry. I don't take offense.
I'm sure you are a millennial. I can see the hair is thick and
full, right? Yeah. Yes.
There's no white hair anywhere as well.
No white hair anywhere.
Definitely not. Yeah, but okay. Let's get one thing into perspective, right? In my opinion, personal opinion, I feel that the priorities when it comes to investing with the new generation is a little bit wonky. Now, why do I say
that? I'm taking offense.
Now you're taking offense.
Yeah.
It's a little bit wonky. And why I say that is because the priority is put onto the wrong classification of asset. Okay, something that appreciates in value is an asset. Something that depreciates in value is a liability.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
And I've come to realize that there's a lot of newbies out there who buy expensive cars as their first form of investment.
Yep.
They don't mind staying with their parents. They don't mind renting. They don't mind going on with life in that sense. Maybe even renting a room, but their car has got to be flashy. It's that BMW that they need to sit inside, that Mercedes that they need to drive.
Yep.
And flash it around. But what's the point? The minute you take a car out of the show unit, you drive a car out of the show unit, it depreciates by 30%. That's the first drive out. It depreciates by 30%. It's not going to go up in value.
Yep.
Right? It's only going to keep going down. A home, when you purchase a home, you purchase a property, when you sign those dotted lines, it already starts to appreciate. It's just a matter of time before it appreciates in a maximum capacity. But it's already starting to appreciate. Right? So these are the priorities that I see are a little bit, like I said, the word wonky. And it should be put back into place. Where millennials, the new generation, they have got to take advice from the older generation, because the older
like you.
I'm not the older generation, right? I'm young. I'm healthy. Let's not get into that. I've got a thicker set of hair on my head compared to you.
On your head lah.
On my head.
On my chest, mine is much thicker.
Yeah. So they need to take advice from the older generation.
Guna, here's where I think, yes, they are, some millennials prioritize buying a car over other things, right? And maybe they're investing in maybe a car is a liability. And of course, I agree with you completely that a home is an asset. But I also think that a lot of people don't understand millennials enough. Meaning, I think a growing number of millennials don't place as much importance on property or houses anymore as previous generations did. Some of the reasons are, for example, there's just been a huge shift in lifestyle. We're in an era where mobility is the name of the game. People don't want to be tethered, especially millennials, to one place or one location. Having a house for most millennials, even for me sometimes, I feel it tethers you to one spot. Moving away, you can't just up and, like right now, because of the internet and all that, the way work has evolved, right? I can basically, my work, for example, I can do it from anywhere. I can do it from in the middle of a beach. I can do it in the jungle, like anywhere, right? And therefore, I don't really have to be living in one location or one place. Not owning a home gives a lot of millennials the freedom to move around, right? They call them digital nomads. And therefore, although they may be open to investing in assets, stocks, bonds, because property is not the only asset out there, they may not be as inclined towards property per se, if you get what I'm saying. So, the older generation is probably wondering why the heck don't millennials want to buy property or invest in properties. But as far as they're concerned, there are so many other assets that you can invest in. And, most millennials, I think there was a survey done, right? Many of them don't want to be working for someone. They are entrepreneurial, right?
I agree. Yeah.
They place a lot of priority on individual freedoms. Whereas a property is a 30-year mortgage, it's being tethered to one spot, the mobility is not there, and you're going to be paying for this for the basically the better portion of your life. Where there's one lady in Canada who started something, it's called the Firecracker Revolution, I think.
I heard of that.
She's become really popular, and what she did was she ditched all her properties, everything, and said to hell with all this. She started investing in stocks, bonds, grew enough passive income to travel around the world and do anything she wants.
From all that you've said in this past, I think 2-3 minutes, I really am trying to figure out how you found the middle of the beach.
Pardon my English, you grammar Nazi. I can do my work from the beach. Okay? Does that make more
correct.
sense?
Yeah. No, but agreed. To a certain extent. Very, very minute extent. Well, this is not about owning the house or not owning the house. What I'm trying to say here is their investment priorities. Right? Now, a car gets you from point A to point B. Right? Why do millennials want to drive that BMW when they start working? Why don't they? I mean, it takes time for you to grow. Give yourself the time to grow. But when you come out and you can afford it. Probably 3,000 ringgit your salary. Your opening salary is at 3,000 ringgit. With the promotions that all these car dealers are having right now, you can probably drive a BMW with a repayment, higher purchase repayment back to the bank at almost 2,000 ringgit.
Yep.
It's doable. You can get it. But that's half your salary is gone. Or maybe even more than half your salary is gone.
Yep.
And they don't need the balance of it because they live with their parents or they live in a room which is cheap.
Yep.
Right? And they can survive that way. But that's the thing. That's what I'm trying to say here. Why do you need that BMW? It's mainly because of peer pressure.
Absolutely.
That's what it is.
Yep.
It's peer
Okay.
pressure.
So this is one of the rare times I'm going to agree with you. It's a lot of peer pressure. Yes.
Yeah, it's peer pressure. But you see, I know of someone, a good friend of mine, who is a captain flying, what do you call it? Pilot. He's a pilot.
And someone's trying to correct me about the middle of the beach.
And he's a pilot. And he was driving his Myvi for the longest of time. Right? And when people asked him, why aren't you upgrading your car? He said, I don't need to. There's no reason for it.
Yep.
And so he drove that Myvi for years till it really broke down. And then he bought another car which was bigger, but it still wasn't a Continental car. He said there's no reason for him wasting his money on a monthly basis for something that's not necessary, which is exactly where I'm coming with this. You know, so a necessity compared to something that's not necessary, this is the fine line that needs to be drawn, and people need to look at that.
Sure.
Yeah. So
Totally.
it may not be property investment. It may be another form of investment, like what you're saying.
Okay, so you're saying that millennials are not investing, they are just spending.
Agreed.
Okay.
Totally.
All
And
right.
you see, even when you look at it from the property context, right? Majority of property developers in this day and age, right, have started developing units that are 600 square feet, 500 square feet. I even saw something that was 350 square feet the other day. Right? And people are buying it. Why? Because they're marketing it in such a way where your home is where you sleep. Right? But they've got like 20 to 30 facilities around them. So it's a lifestyle that's being sold right now.
Yep.
And where is that? Who are their target audience? Their target audience are the millennials.
Absolutely.
Because the millennials, they fall for these things. You know, I agree. I buy a unit that's 500 square feet. You know, but I've got 30 facilities around me. I bring my friends. We can chill. But this is the thought right now. But it's a property that you're investing in. It's not the lifestyle. The lifestyle changes. It's a cycle that changes.
Yep.
You know? But the property will still remain as a 500 square foot unit. And when you want to sell it off later, the capital appreciation will be hard to achieve. You know, that's where I'm coming from, the priorities. So if you look at it from that point of view as well, the priorities have shifted. It's no longer about space. It's no longer about owning that space. It's more of owning that lifestyle.
Correct. So millennials want lifestyle. That's what they place a lot of importance on. Is it bad or is it good from a financial perspective? Spending money on, you know, liabilities or things that are not going to bring you rewards in terms of returns. Yes, it's bad. But from a perspective of happiness, are they more happy because of the
fluff?
focus on lifestyle?
The fluff. Well, it does make people happy. Fluff makes people happy. Driving a BMW, the latest BMW, on the road, and people turning and looking at you while you're driving, there is a nice feel to it, as compared to driving a smaller car. You know, but that's the aspiration. That's an aspiration is something that is totally different from a need or a necessity. Right? Now, for instance, let's say it's a 4-lane road, right?
Yep.
And you've got 4 cars on the road because it's a traffic light, right? There is a Myvi, there is a Honda, there is a BMW, and there is a Bentley, right? Now, the aspiration for the first car, which is the Myvi, would be the Honda.
Yep.
He would look at the Honda and he'll go, how nice if I could drive that one day. The Honda may look at the BMW and think, how nice if I could drive that one day.
Yep.
And the BMW will look at the Bentley and say,
That's
nice.
you looking at me, right?
Definitely.
Yes.
Look at, I agree, because I'm getting to the next. Looking at the Bentley and saying, how nice if I could have that one day. And the Bentley will be looking down at all three, thinking, I had all this, and I've come here. Did I actually need to spend all that to get here?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it's a cycle. It's what you want and what you need. You've got to live within your means. Don't bite too much that you can't chew. Because why I'm saying all this is because I got a phone call the other day during my radio show.
Yep.
And this person called up and said, I don't understand. I earned 5,000 ringgit. I applied for a house that's 350,000 ringgit, but my loan got rejected. Right? Mm-hmm. So I did the math. I said it should not be rejected. By right, it should not be rejected. But I asked her, what are the other things that you have? She's only 27 years old. Mm-hmm. Right? She drives a BMW.
Okay.
So why would
you have the answer there?
So why would your loan not be rejected? You've already taken that 1/3 rule of thumb and thrown it out the window. Mm-hmm. So you've got to look at your priorities. What do you want to achieve? What do you want to invest in? If you want to invest in property, that should be your main goal. Mm-hmm. Get that done first. Mm-hmm. Then look at your balance and see what else you can afford around that. Yep. Not go for the liability first. Spend your money on the liability, get your credit on your liability, and then wonder why the necessities don't work for you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we have to we have to wrap up soon. I agree with you, Guna, in many aspects, but I think instead of dividing it into liabilities and assets, it's very materialistic. And it's very difficult for people to comprehend sometimes. I do a lot of work with entrepreneurs, and a lot of them are millennials. And usually when I'm talking to them, the first thing I ask is, when we're going through, what they're doing, right? I ask them, what is it you want to do? What is it you want out of life? And initially, always the answer is, I want $1 million in revenue. I want, this fancy car. I want to buy a nice property. Blah blah blah. Lots of things. And then I ask them to say, okay, you want this? Why? And I ask them to keep asking why, at least 5 times, 7 times. My mentor told me ask 7 times. So when they start to drill down, why do I want the car? Because it'll make me feel accomplished, right? Why do you want to feel accomplished? And as they go through this process of why, they find out by themselves, actually, it's to show people. And that process of asking why and trying to understand what they want will actually bring you to, by asking why, you actually get to the crux of what is it you actually want. And when an entrepreneur or when someone understands really this is what I want in life, and that's really what you want, it's not because it's peer pressure or it's because you're trying to show off to people or you're trying to attain, you're trying to find an icon or a trophy that says I'm successful, right? Magic starts to happen. That means you know what is it you want, it's attuned to you, and then you start working towards it. So instead of looking at things as assets and liabilities, I think it's really important for millennials to ask this question: what is it that you really, really want? And when that question is answered, the rest of what you have to do to get there becomes very easy.
Agreed. Main thing is, I say it once again, throw off the fluff. The fluff is not needed.
Throw the fluff. And can I add one more thing? I know this show is about property, real estate, investing in real estate, buying, assets and all that. But I want to say this, that investing in properties or buying assets may not necessarily make you happy. I still feel very closely, with, this something I hold here, that it's really important to find out what is it you really want.
No, agreed. I totally agree with you. It's not about just investing. It's about investing in life.
Yep.
It's not about investing in goods. It's
Yep.
investing in life.
Mm-hmm.
It's your life.
Yep.
You've been put on this earth. You have a certain amount of time. You have a certain amount of time to achieve something.
Yep.
What is it that you want to achieve?
Yes. So before Guna starts to become Mahatma Gandhi and go all philosophical, we better wrap up the show. That's our take on millennials and property investment and assets and trends in that aspect. What are your comments? Can you share with us? If you're a millennial, tell us what is it that moves you. Why would you prefer a car over property, or do you prefer property over car? Just give us your input, give us your feedback. We'd like to hear from you. Till then, this is Ikhram, and
Guna,
we'll see you in our next episode.
peace.